Good morning. It is Friday, November 5th, 11 o'clock in the morning, or thereabouts, and out for another ride, and thought I would record it. I haven't made a video in November, so this will be one showing Cape May in November. As I said, it's about 11 o'clock in the morning, so it's a little earlier than I would normally be out riding. And I'm starting this ride at the very end of a railroad road up in Rio Grande. And I've ridden on this road countless times, and I refer to it as Broadway, as Seashore, as Railroad, and I thought I would start the ride up here and ride completely down into Cape May on this road, and you can see that it is the same road, and it just changes names based on the community that you happen to be in. So it's about 45 degrees right now in Cape May. It's a brisk fall day. So this is Railroad Road. And I'm up in Rio Grande right now. And this road will take me down and cross the West Cape May Canal Bridge over into the lower township portion of Cape Island, continuing on into West Cape May, and then crossing Sunset and entering into Cape May. My wife and I are heading up to Pennsylvania again today. We have a gymnastics competition for my granddaughter on Sunday. So we have to go up tomorrow because the competition is in State College at Penn State University. So we are driving out to Penn State tomorrow afternoon, and we'll spend the night out there. Tomorrow morning we have a soccer game for our granddaughter, and then a flag football game or a soccer game, I forget which, for my grandson. So we'll go to both of those, and then we'll head out to State College. My wife and I got our booster shot earlier this week. We got the Moderna booster. We had the Moderna vaccine, so we didn't, even though I guess theoretically you can mix and match, and you don't have to get the vaccine, the mRNA vaccine by the same manufacturer that you got or the booster for the mRNA. It doesn't have to be with the same manufacturer that your original vaccine was from, but we didn't want to mix it up. So since we got the Moderna back in February and March, we decided to stay with the Moderna and get the booster. So this is still considered Railroad Road here, and I'm coming up. On the right is Hawk Haven Winery. Right back there where you see those white tents. My wife and I went over to to Cape May last night for dinner, and town was empty. I mean, there was hardly anyone out on the mall. And it wasn't raining or anything like that. It just, I guess, just a Thursday in November. It's, just was not crowded at all. And I guess since I last made a video, Halloween and Election Day has come and gone. We spent Halloween up at our home in Pennsylvania, and we voted up there. That's where our legal residence is. And first, with respect to Halloween, we're starting to experience a significant increase in the number of trick-or-treaters that we're getting. I guess our neighborhood has sort of turned over, and a lot of younger families have moved in. My wife and I are the original owners when the homes in that development were first built. And I guess that was, 35, 40 years ago. And our three kids obviously are grown and out on their own, and most of the people that lived around us when our kids were young have also had their kids move out, and they've sold and they've moved. So a lot of the homes now have young families in them. And as a result, we're seeing a nice increase in the number of trick-or-treaters that we're getting for Halloween. And Election Day up there, we had a turnout of 33% in the location that we voted in. And there were no really notable statewide offices that were up for election. It was mostly Superior Court or Commonwealth Court judges that, I suspect very, very few people even know who the candidates were, much less why one would be preferable over another. But the thing that I think drew a lot of people, to the extent that there was 33% turnout, that you could use the term a lot of people, but I suspect the turnout would have been even markedly lower had it not been for the fact that the school board was up for re-election. And some places have an appointed school board, and where we live in Montgomery County, it is the township that we live in. It's the school board officials are elected, and as was the case, I think, in Virginia and in other places, there's a lot of emotions running very high about how the schools have reacted to the pandemic with respect to closures and distant learning and mask mandates and a whole variety of things like that, and the curricula that's being taught. So the results of our election was that all 5 members of the existing school board were voted out of office and replaced. So I'm crossing Sandman Boulevard now. This is where I would typically be coming from the right and turn right onto this road here. This is Seashore. I should have pointed out where it changed, but the point is I'm still on the same road, but this is Seashore Road right here. It's a beautiful day. It is chilly. It's as I said, it's 45 degrees, and I think the last time I looked, the wind chill was about 37 or 38 degrees. So it's a little chilly, but it should be chilly for this time in the fall, well into November. And I'm crossing the West Cape May Canal Bridge. And as I pointed out on many occasions, this is not West Cape May right here. This is still Lower Township. But I am on the on Cape Island now. Our dinner last night was at a place called Vigiano's, and I'm certain that I have profiled that. It's right off of Sunset, across from Exit Zero. It's an Italian restaurant, and they also own an Italian restaurant up in Conshohocken, Pennsylvania. And the night before that, we dined at Sapori, which is another Italian restaurant right on this road. It's on Broadway, and I've shown that many times too. So I'm entering West Cape May now, as you can see from that sign. And I am now in West Cape May, and this is called Broadway. So the road turns to Broadway when you enter into West Cape May. From talking to some people down here, I think the turnout was a little heavier here than it was where we live in Pennsylvania. But of course, they had the gubernatorial election here in New Jersey. And the southern part of the state is heavily Republican. And I know from talking to neighbors and things, they are no fan of Governor Murphy. So there was probably a high turnout in the hopes of unseating him. But he did hang on and win re-election. So Vigiano's is right, if you see where that sign that says food, drinks, gifts, that's Exit Zero, and across the street from that is where Vigiano's is. and there's Sapori's. That's where we ate on, I guess it was Wednesday night. And then Broadway ends at the beach. I think I'm going to make a U-turn down here at the Cove and go down to Poverty Beach, the other end. I think I've made this comment numerous times in past videos, but I really like it down here more in the off season than in season in the summer. And I guess this is not the off season. This would be considered a shoulder season. The off season would be probably like the dead of winter, but spring and fall would be considered shoulder seasons, and those are my favorite times of year down here. There's still a real good number of restaurants that are open. The temperature's not too bitter. It's really not cold. I don't think 45 is an uncomfortable temperature for this time of year, but there's really no crowds. My wife and I were speculating that these cars, it's always, the road is always lined with cars at this point, and I have to believe that they're just workers at Congress Hall or other stores here. There's surely not, these people are not down on the beach. Convention Center is on my right, and over here to the left there's going to be a 7-story hotel built. Icona bought this property here where Madison's Bakery is and the old beach movie theater, and they're going to raise that and build a 7-story hotel on this location right here. Right there. There's the Mermaid Lovelock Garden. I did a video on that. A lot of birds there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the video or not. It's a really peaceful time down here. And I guess I should mention my wife and I said earlier that we got our booster shots. Neither of us really had any reaction to the booster. Now the Moderna booster is only half the dose of the first and second dose of the vaccine, so maybe that's why we didn't have a reaction to the booster, other than injection site pain. But that's very, very tolerable. So I'm coming up here on at the end, Poverty Beach. This is where my daughter and son-in-law came to get their summer pictures with the grandkids on the beach here in the summer. They do it every year. So I think I will pull over and stop this video at this point. So that's it. Just a ride down from Railroad Road all the way up in Rio Grande, down through Irma, where it turns into Seashore Road, continuing down Seashore Road over the West Cape May Canal Bridge and into West Cape May, where it turns to Broadway. Again, it's Friday, November 5th. It's about 11:27 right now, and it's 45 degrees. I hope you enjoyed this ride, and thank you for watching. Take care.